Please comment and subscribe.
Because usually when I go to the museum, like I've done it before, but it's like,
it just popped into my head, you were Romeo, you were throwing pebbles, and my daddy said stay away from Juliet.
It's the only thing that keeps me not feeling overwhelmed by the abnormality of my life.
nope, that was spontaneous. I'm a very spontaneous person.
It's a concept album, and the main question is what keeps you up at night.
The most abnormal thing about my life is having sort of crowds form everywhere you go.
What's the coolest thing in this room?
I can do so much better than that. The coolest thing in this room, I think, is the fireplace.
You can be in a relationship and have it seem normal, like that would be good.
Making this album was hard work because I never put it down, and I never just put it aside and said, okay, I have enough songs for this album.
Shares his experience in writing, he's brave. If a woman shares her experience in writing, she's oversharing, and she's over-emotional, or she might be crazy, or watch out, she'll write a song about you.
For me, this album is more personal than anything I've ever put out because the last 2 years have been really intense. I don't think I would have been happy with this album if I hadn't written about all of it.
I record a voice memo of myself singing it, or I write it down in my notes.
But that joke is so old, and it's coming from a place of such sexism.
And so we went out and we sit down, and my best friend looks over, and absolutely her face like went white, and she was like, Stevie Wonder is sitting right behind you. And with that, a couple minutes later, they dimmed the lights in the restaurant, and this was the night that President Obama was elected.
I'm just working out and getting ready for Grammys.
Like, it's so heartwarming to me because this is something that I care about, but I don't expect other people to care about it.
All of a sudden, you realize that you have not been alone, truly, for 5 years.
The first song that made me fall in love with country music was Blue by Leeanne Rhimes. That song just completely resonated with me, and I think what resonated with me even more was that she was young and she was doing these things that I could only dream about doing.
I think you should never Google yourself again.
Yeah, I decided that I wanted to play this entire album for the fans long before it came out.
Congratulations, and you should take her to Big Sur. You're welcome.
Me, I feel like I had an entire year to process what you think about certain things, and for me, I think that I just write what I feel.
Blake Lively. Okay, well, I'll walk you to the door.
I am not worried about that. I'm really in touch with my fans, and I know what they like. What my fans in general were afraid of was that I would start making pop music and I would stop writing smart lyrics, or I would stop writing emotional lyrics. And when they heard the new music, they realized that that wasn't the case at all.
All the things that I would daydream about in my bedroom, she was up there doing, and she was 14 years old, and I thought there was something so just motivating about that. Whatever it is that you feel strongly about, waiting until it's too late, and instead of saying the wrong thing or saying something that you might be embarrassed by, you just say nothing.
So I really do. I've been re-recording my first 6 albums because there was a thing that happened where I had wanted to own my work of my first 6 albums, and when I changed record labels, my first 6 albums.
Probably not. They would probably not think that I'm cool.
It seemed like when I moved to New York, love and heartbreak and all the themes that used to be main factors in my music kind of faded to the background.
I wrote everything by myself. Well, the album is called Speak Now.
I think filming the Bad Blood video was my favorite memory.
And it's hard to explain how you get there. And this goes back to when I first started writing songs when I was 12. A lot of times, I don't know exactly how I feel about something until I write that song about it. And that's how I know. Point when I was about 10 years old, I was watching TV and I was watching a special about Faith Hill. It talked about how she went to Nashville. That's the moment that I realized that Nashville is where you need to be if you want to sing country music. So that I don't know what to say or I don't know what to think about, I just go silent until I know what to say, and that's usually when I write a song about it. And so this album is called Speak Now because I'm finally saying all of it.
I really want an honorary doctorate degree because Ed Sheeran has one, and I feel like he looks down on me now because I don't have one.
Oh, I didn't wear a cowboy hat. My hair was always too big for that. Like, it would like, you know, push it down and it would fro out. I grew up in Pennsylvania when the moment is right.
And just everywhere. So that starts happening, and then you have to take security everywhere you go.
Oh, it's all good.
I just was so much more comfortable playing a show in front of thousands of people or sitting in a conference room with music industry executives than I was playing at my high school talent show. I kind of started to live in fear of when I would go and sing a national anthem at the 76ers game, and if I knew there was going to be a write-up the next day in our local paper, I knew it was going to be a bad day at school for me.
I had some dreams. They were clouds in my coffee from You're So Vain by Carly Simon. A gluten-free, dairy-free chocolate cake.
And eventually, when I was 11 years old, we took my first trip to Nashville. We had heard about this place called Music Row, which is where all the record labels are. Mm-hmm. And so everyone had just gotten the news, and there was this energy about the place. And with that, Stevie Wonder stands up, and one of the waiters says, "Mr. Wonder would like to make a speech." And so everyone in the restaurant... For me, the most fun part about this, the most intriguing part about music is the storytelling that's woven into it with the lyrics.
My boyfriend planted an olive tree in my yard for Christmas.
Every day.
Staring, and my heart was racing, and I just remember thinking, remember everything that you hear in this moment. And from that point on, I thought about nothing but getting to Nashville.
Lots of preparation. I write a lot of my ideas down before I get into the actual session.
And I ended it with, like, and the thing is, like, we are never getting back together. Ever. Ever. So
I definitely was more nervous walking into my first day of my freshman year of high school than I was walking up to record labels and handing them my CD.
It was from Milk Bar. It was for my 25th birthday, and it was so good that even Jay-Z raved about it. Oh.
When I write songs, I don't hesitate to put names in the songs because that's how I deal with life, you know? It's funny because people that had no idea that I had a crush on them or was interested in them usually won't find out through me telling them, but they will find out when they hear their name in one of my songs.
Creativity is getting inspiration and having that lightning bolt idea moment, and then having the hard work ethic to sit down at the desk and write it down.
not much of one. I mean, when I do, it's fun.
Kiss Me by Sixpence None the Richer.
I had an awesome experience with this last record with a song called Hey Steven, because this was a guy who opened up a couple shows for me on tour. And it was just, talk to him a couple times and, would hang out at catering or whatever. But it was never anything like he would ever know that I liked him.
Here's the thing, we are never getting back together, and I just went on this rant.
When I was 5, I knew that my dad was a stockbroker, but I did not know what a stockbroker was, yet I walked around telling people I'm going to be a stockbroker when I grow up. Okay.
Because I don't ever confess that sort of thing in real life, but I really do like to confess it in this fantasy music life that I get to live.
Something I will not be doing in 10 years. I'll be 36. I really hope that I'm not stressed about the idea of approaching 40. I hope that aging is not something that really freaks me out.
Everywhere.
I lost track of that in probably 2007.